Hi everyone, I'm Amrita. This is my GSoC 2026 Endterm update. I've spent this summer with OpenMRS building the patient visit summary printing, part of the patient documents module. At midterm, I showed you the pipeline, and today I get to show you the actual finished thing. Quick recap for anyone just joining. When a patient sees a clinician at one facility and later shows up at another, those two systems usually don't talk to each other. There's no standard document carrying the history across, so it gets relayed from memory. And things slip. A misdiagnosis, an allergy nobody mentioned. This module closes that gap. It takes a patient's visit and turns it into a clean, printable PDF that the clinic can print and hand over. Now, the whole project was built around one constraint. OpenMRS runs in hundreds of very different clinics. So this could never be about one PDF for one clinic. An adult clinic cares more about blood pressure trends in chronic conditions, whereas an infant clinic, it cares more about growth measurements and immunizations. Even different concept dictionaries, different languages, and in low resource settings, literally different paper. Receipt rolls instead of A4, where every millimeter of ink costs something real. So every architectural decision this summer got measured against one question. Would they survive contact with a clinic that isn't set up like mine? Now the architecture is the same one I showed you at midterm. Still standing at the end, OpenMRS data flows through a pluggable section pipeline, gets structured as XML, and then Apache FOP turns that into a print-ready PDF. So every section here is independent. So a clinic can turn any of them on or off, reorder them purely through configuration. No code change required. No hard-coded concept IDs. Instead, we use concept mappings. So the same code works on a different dictionary as well. Labels rendered in the clinic's own language, and new since midterm, the page itself is responsive. So the exact same PDF reflows correctly whether it's printing on a A4 or an 80mm receipt roll. And let me actually show you instead of just describing it. This whole admin configuration page is new since midterm too. So here an administrator can see every section that the module knows about, toggle any of them on or off, reorder them, preview the result with sample data before ever touching a real patient record. And next up we have the real print button. Sitting in the actual O3 patient chart, one click and the full visit summary renders right here with all these sections: patient info, vitals, diagnosis, conditions, allergies, all of them, all the 10 sections. And this is the same summary, same data, rendered at very different paper sizes. It supports a few others as well, like A5 portrait, A4 landscape, but these two extremes make the point best. Now, nothing about the underlying document changed here, just the configured page size and the whole layout reflows to fit. So, by the end of summer, 10 sections shipped, 3 locales, an admin config page with live preview, a print button in the real front end, and 18 merged pull requests across 4 different OpenMRS repositories. Everything nests under one epic. So if you want the full paper trail, it's linked below along with every PR and my whole weekly blog series. But honestly, the one thing that I'm walking away with isn't any single line of code. It's a way of thinking about failure. And early on during my first PR, it taught me that a blank section on a medical document is ambiguous. A clinician can't tell, nothing to report, from the system failed and nobody noticed. And in healthcare software, that distinction isn't a nice to have. It's a safety issue. Every review after that from my mentors and the senior reviewers pushed that same question further. Not just does this work, but does it work everywhere else for a clinic that isn't set up like mine? And none of this happened alone. Huge thank you to my mentors Wikum and Nethmi for a summer's worth of patient honest review and for pushing every design decision until it actually held up, and for somehow making that process encouraging instead of intimidating. And to the wider OpenMRS community for being genuinely wonderful to build something in. I've written about all of it, the bugs, the reviews, the whole journey on my blog all summer. Links below if you want the deeper story. It's been an absolute ride and I've loved every bit of it. Thank you for watching.